Let's get into our first round rules. It's pretty simple, folks. A great take gives you 200 points. A good take gives you 100. An okay take gives you 50. And a bad take, you come empty-handed with 0 points. So one of the shockers thus far of the NBA playoffs is not that the Timberwolves are beating the Nuggets. That's not all that surprising. It's the fact that they're absolutely destroying the Nuggets in every way, shape, and form. Anthony Edwards has been absolutely phenomenal through the first 2 games. And in game 2 in particular, the Timberwolves won 106-80. And again, physically on the defensive end, Nickeil Alexander-Walker, Jaden McDaniels, Anthony Edwards, Karl-Anthony Towns, Rudy Gobert, even in game 1, have absolutely smoked the Denver Nuggets. But Anthony Edwards, Eric, has been easily the best player in the series. Is he right now in the midst of becoming the face of the NBA?
Man, I think he's got to be. When you look around, it's perfect timing. This is the first time in a long time that LeBron, Steph, and KD, or none of them, are in the second round. So you can tell that times are starting to change in the NBA a little bit. And Anthony Edwards has been the one to kind of grab that title of the next one. I've heard people say he's the Al Hassan guy from Dune. He's the chosen one. He's the next guy. I wouldn't go that far yet. I give him a 2-year window to win a ring, or I'll say 3. If he doesn't win a ring in 3 years, the heat's going to cool off a little bit. But as of right now, he's on the way. I think he's the most likely to become the face of the league. You got Luka, not as marketable, kind of an annoying play style to watch. Wemby, pretty quiet so far. I think Wemby could be another one that's going to jump right up there probably next year. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, I don't know, flops a lot, just hunts fouls the whole time. So right now, I'm leaning Anthony Edwards. I don't really think he's the chosen one like a lot of people do, but due to process of elimination, I like Ant-Man right now.
Well, the thing is, too, he's 22 years old. So, like you said, the potential window for him to win a ring is certainly longer than 3 years, but may become the face of the league, as you said, with the older guys, kind of maturing out of the NBA. That's something to keep your eye on. Eric, going to give you a good take to start the night, give you 100 points to start. Yeah, I think you're spot on as far as, like you said, process of elimination. Like, Ant is one of the few guys that I think genuinely wants the title of not just best player in the world, certainly, but the face of the NBA. He's got the charisma. His game's easy to watch and root for. So a good take there by Eric. Mike, is Anthony Edwards on his way to becoming the face of the NBA?
I mean, that's a different question, right? Because I think, can he be on the way to becoming the face of the league? Yeah, he can. But do I think that he's like the favorite for being the face of the league right now? No, I don't. I think that that's fairly obvious recency bias to the nth degree, right? We just saw Nikola Jokic just got announced tonight that he just won his 3rd MVP in the last 4 years, right? He just won a title last year. So, and that's not to say that Jokic is the face of the league either, but because we've seen Anthony Edwards play really well in 6 playoff games, that all of a sudden means that he's become the face of the league. Here's really the thing that bothers me, and I know, Bryson, you and I have had this discussion before also, that as entertaining as Anthony Edwards is to watch, and as good as I think that he is, and he certainly is, right? He's averaging whatever he is, 35 plus on 50% shooting, which is unbelievable for a playoff stretch. But he kind of looks like Michael Jordan. He kind of looks like Kobe Bryant. And what do basketball fans love? They love Michael Jordan. They love Kobe Bryant. They love players that look like that. So in a sense, if you want to make the argument that he's going to become the face of the league because he looks like that kind of player, then yeah, I think he probably could. Should he be because of 6 great playoff games? No, probably not.
That's fair. I mean, a lot of it is recency bias. We tend to do this. I mean, like, feels like every NBA Finals is Jokic the best player in the world, Giannis, Steph, LeBron. Like, we tend to, whoever the NBA, we did with Kawhi in 2019, and the same can certainly be applied, given the fact that the older stars, I mean, you look at the guys that are eliminated, 5 of those guys are probably top 10 players in the league. Bron, Steph, Embiid, Kevin Durant, Anthony Davis. So, Giannis. I mean, it's a pretty loaded list of guys. So, it's to a degree, it certainly feels like the change of the guard. So, I think you're on the money on a lot of things. Guido, I'm going to give you a good take to get you to 100 points here to tie with Eric. Yeah, I think that there's a lot of truth in the comparisons. Basketball fans love the comparisons. We do it. You're kind of the anti-comparison guy during, the draft, except like with Wemby and stuff like that. Like I certainly see where you're coming from. So I'll give you a good take there. Barry, finally with you, is Anthony Edwards on his way to becoming the face of the NBA?
Yeah, I think that's a possibility for him. I'm kind of siding with Mike that, kind of pump the brakes on it a little bit, but I'll bring up a different point than the other guys, because obviously this is what this show is about, right? The reason why he might be on his way to being the face of the NBA is kind of by necessity. Here's why. The European players, as good as they are, have taken over the top 5, 6 spots in the NBA, or top 10. You want to say that not all of them, but the majority of those guys are European guys. Jokic, Embiid, Giannis, all of these guys are international stars. We need to push our own guys. This is why Anthony Edwards is so appealing, because he's an American-born guy. You know what I mean? It's the same thing in boxing. Boxing kind of lost its way because we don't have a really American face heavyweight. It's in baseball. You don't have the face of the league. National guy, popularity is not there. Like, that's why by forwards has to be the guy at some point. We're pushing that because it's needed for that particular reason. No shots at the European guys, but kind of need our own guy to be that guy.
Well, there's an advantage to it because it's a North American sport and league, and so like I think you're spot on the money. Where we haven't seen this type of situation in NBA history where, like you said, the last I think the last American MVP was James Harden in 2018. Like, it just goes to show you how the league has changed. Embiid has won, Giannis, Jokic, as Mike mentioned, 3 times in the last 4 years. You talk about sort of the shifting of the guard to the international circuit, where there's not that many superstar American players. Some of that I think is because the one and done system is, I don't want to say broken, but doesn't work as well as maybe we once thought. The AAU system isn't great. So I think you make a lot of great points bearing for that. I'm going to give you a great take to get you to 200 points and the lead heading in the second round. I think it's the American aspect certainly helps. And again, it'd be one thing if he was American, but just, the game wasn't necessarily there the way it is with Anthony Edwards right now, or the personality, but he's in the movie Hustle with Adam Sandler. Like, he's got the easy marketability that a lot of the faces of the league have had. And I think he's certainly en route to doing so. He's not there yet, but he's en route to potentially doing so.